welcome back to the Big Factory on the Big Play Sports
Network.
We got a call to the bullpen. I'll have to fix Rob's shot a little bit, coming in for basketball, taking over for Jack. But before that, I got to tell you about our great friends over at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, guys. Classic light lager and lime, as you can see right above me. Scan that QR code to go visit their website, drinkgaragebeer.com. No frittles, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who drink garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com. Nick, I will start with you, okay? Cavaliers, they get the win over the Miami Heat, 121-100. They get the series opening victory. What'd you see out of our Cavaliers?
I mean, everything. That was the perfect game one. If you're a Cavs fan, you saw everything that you wanted to see and that you needed to see out of our Cleveland Cavaliers. First and foremost, the core four looked as competent in that game as we've seen them in any playoff game over the last 2 years. All of Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen looked really good. It was nice that you didn't really need a whole lot of scoring out of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley because you got so much out of DG and Donovan. Ty Jerome was really the story off the bench. Listen, I told you guys this all along. The first round of the NBA playoffs for a team that's worth a lick should be pretty easy. I didn't really care whether it was the Magic, the Hawks, the Heat. I think game one gave us a little bit of a taste that it should be pretty easy for this team. So I'm looking forward to watching this first round continue. You're going to need the same contribution from Ty Jerome when this thing flips on the road. Playing in Miami won't be as easy as playing in Cleveland. Rob, I know you were there last night. That arena sounded like it was rocking, and game one was exactly what you wanted to see out of these Cavs.
Yeah, Rob, you were at the game. You were at Rocket Arena for the victory. Tell me, what was the crowd like? What was the energy like? And what were your biggest takeaways from this Cavs one?
Absolutely deafening in the arena. You know, first off, everyone put on their shirts. That's the first thing with NBA playoff basketball. I saw some games where the crowd was too cool to put on the shirts. Everyone had a shirt. Everyone had a towel. It was deafening in there. Everyone's getting hyped. Ty Jerome, when he goes on that late run in the fourth, you hear him dribbling the ball at the court, the whole arena. You can't hear anything going on. They're blowing whistles. You can't hear anything. My biggest takeaways were I love the fact that we kind of had a little bit of a sloppy start to the game and that we still were easily just handling Miami. Like, I was never worried about it because you knew they were off for a little bit. Donovan had rested some. You know, you had some early drop passes, a little bit of mishaps, but that was cool. They kept just going. They weren't worried whatsoever. My absolute biggest takeaway, though, was just the belief that you could see this team has. They've been sick of the past failures. They had a video package they played where they talked about the play-in loss to Atlanta, the loss to the Knicks, the loss to the Celtics. This team has been through it all, and they now really believe that they're championship contenders. You can see by how Donovan Mitchell went up to Duncan Robinson, just pushed him out of the way, how he was getting the crowd into the game. DG, the same thing. That demeanor they carry is that of a championship team. And that's what I saw out there.
You know, Ty Jerome, I believe, because of the game restrictions or the new rules, ineligible for Sixth Man of the Year. But, I mean, this game was a perfect example of the value that he brings. 28 points, 16 of those in the fourth quarter, 6 for 7 from 3 in the fourth quarter. 2 points shy of Kyrie's playoff debut, of course, is Ty Jerome's first playoff game when Kyrie had 30 in game 1 of 2015. How big has just Ty Jerome's impact been on the club this year?
I mean, it's massive because you looked at this offseason and a lot of people, we talked about it on the show a ton. Kobe Altman, a lot of grief for sticking with the core four, didn't make any big moves. Ty Jerome was a big move. Ty Jerome only played 2 or 3 games last year for the Cavs. He had the world's most mysterious ankle sprain. We just didn't see any of them. We never heard any update on how he was coming along. The Cavs played pretty much all of last year with no backup point guard, and now you see Ty Jerome take over this role. And I love nationally, the narrative has already shifted to how do the Cavs keep Ty Jerome on their roster for 2026? Because this is truly a piece that should be considered a part of this Cavs young core in a similar way as DeAndre Hunter, still under contract for 2 full more seasons after this. They should probably work something out with Ty Jerome as well because he means a ton to this group.
Yeah, excuse me. I said it was Ty Jerome ineligible. DeAndre Hunter ineligible. Ty Jerome can get the Sixth Man of the Year award.
I know how they could clear that space to keep Ty Jerome on the team.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're going to have to find a way. And the thing is, too, if this team does what we want them to, and if you win an NBA title, a good owner, and Dan Gilbert is a great owner, is going to find a way to run it back and then find a way to make sure Ty Jerome's still in the mix, whether that's getting creative with the cap space, whether that's just tapping into the luxury aprons. Dan Gilbert's going to find a way to make it work.
You know, everybody, beginning of the season, we talked about how important Evan Mobley would be in the playoffs, and that's still going to be the case. But you look at this game, Evan Mobley just 9 points, 4 of 10 shooting. And, of course, it was the Donovan Mitchell show I mentioned, Ty Jerome dropping in 28 points. Sam Merrill had a good defensive game, right? 14, Jared Allen, 12 points, excuse me. How important will it be for Evan Mobley moving forward for the Cavs once they get to a series against, let's say, the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think really for Mobley, it's taken Bam out of the game in this series. And I saw a couple things early in the first half where he straight threw Bam Adebayo out of the club on a couple of different occasions in the low post. And that's exactly what you want to see out of Evan Mobley. You want to see him boxing out the Heat bigs the way that him and Jared Allen did all throughout game 1. You'll probably need more of Mobley in game 3 and 4 when this thing flips to Miami. That's when you need your role players and your other guys to really step up is on the road. But same thing, like when you look towards the next round, he's just got to be the same way against Miles Turner or against Giannis. You know, you got to be big, be physical down low. Same thing against Boston. Be physical with Porzingis, box out Porzingis. It's so nice that the Cavs have so many guys that offensively could get the job done that you don't need Evan to really go off for 20 necessarily every single game. So right now, I want to see Mobley continue what he did in game 1, and that's just take Bam out of the game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
I agree. I mean, he did what he could. They weren't really going to him. When you have 3 guys combined for 85, that's not leaving a lot of shots for everyone else. And I mean, rightfully so, you're going to keep going back to the guys that are all almost combining for 30 points each. I think we're going to see Evan have good games this season. I mean, not this season, this series too as well. Honestly, it could be the next game. They're going to have to make an adjustment. You just watch Ty Jerome give you 30 points. He's probably going to see blitzes and double teams when he comes off ball screens next game. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell. So then now they're dumping it to Evan, and now he's making those plays off the short roll. So next game, he might have 25, and Jared Allen might get more involved, them working together. It's really just a game-to-game thing, but this team is so deep and so talented that it doesn't matter if one game someone has like 9 points because we're still going to get 120. We're still going to play great offense, and they're still going to succeed.
I want to ask you guys this, and I know this is game 1 of the series. It's the first game of the playoffs for the Cavaliers. It's so early, but a theme this whole year has been fourth quarter Cavalanches. I know a lot of people love sprinkling money on the Cavs live money line, and obviously the case was the same for game 1. They outscored the Heat 34-21. What about it as this team that they just have the gear that they just turn up in the fourth quarter?
It's kind of it reminds me of the LeBron teams a little bit. The fact that really game 1 in general reminded me of the LeBron teams a little bit because the Cavs, it wasn't that they were playing bad basketball over the last 14 days, 2 weeks to wrap up the regular season, but you could tell that they were testing things. They weren't truly playing Cavs basketball.